Hey guys, it's Samantha. I wanted to share with you some brush basics, and today we're focusing on eye brushes. So I want to talk to you guys about eye brushes. I know there are so many options out there, so I'm going to show you 4 basic shapes today that are really good for beginners or good to start with, and then you can really grow your collection from there. These are the 4 shapes we're talking about today. So first we're going to start with this guy here. Now this particular brush, and I'll leave all the links for you guys so you can see exactly what the brush looks like. There's a lot of great different brands out there that you can get them for cheap, so you guys can play around with them. And of course, as I always say, like, there are really no rules. So if you find that you like this brush for something different than what I'm talking about, or you don't like it for what I'm about to show you, that's okay. Use it for however it works for you. So this brush is shorter, flat. It's really good for packing color on. So that's going to be our first step. And before we even use a brush at all, I'm going to use some Urban Decay primer potion. I'm going to prime my lids. This one I really like, so I don't know if you guys are familiar with the Urban Decay primer potion. It's been around forever. This particular one is called Eden, but it has like a nude color to it. So it really helps me because I have some discoloration on my lids, so it really evens everything out and gives me a really nice blank canvas to work with. I literally just put some on my hand, and I'm going to use my ring finger to apply it to my eyelid. You guys can see that already, right? So it's brightening up the eyelid, doing some color correcting for me. And as you can see, a little bit goes a long way. I like to start with it on the lid and then bring it up. So we're covering everything here. And as you can also see, my face isn't done, which is on purpose. I always start with the eyes, and I'll show you guys exactly why in the end here. So going back to that first brush I was talking about, this flat brush here, and I'm gonna use a palette today just to show you guys. I'm really gonna use 3 colors, keeping it nice and simple. I'm going to use the new Nude palette from Huda. And I'm going to take that flat brush, and I'm going to use just like a really neutral color that's gonna go all over the lid. This is really how I'm putting it on the brush. Tapping it in and just loading the brush with color. Don't be afraid with this one. You want the color to be really full on the lid, especially for this look, so. You could see it's really just packing the color on. And you basically just want it to be a full coverage of the lid. So as you can see, this brush is good for just putting a color on. You can go back and grab as much more product as you need on the brush. Perfect. All over the lid, nice and simple. You kind of want to just take it up to the crease. The next brush that we're going to use is going to be for the crease, and that is this fluffy brush right here. This is a really universal brush. It's good for so many things. It has a rounder shape, but it's great for blending. It's great for concealer. It's great for a lot of different things. If you're really going to choose any brush at all, this would be like the perfect brush to start with. I'm going to use this color Teddy here in the corner here. I'm just doing a little bit on my brush and doing like this tapping motion to get the excess color off, just so you don't have like shadow flying everywhere. And this color is going to go in the crease. So this fluffy universal brush right into the crease of the eye. And you're just going to do like this windshield wiper motion. And you're going to bring it down a little bit and up a little bit. And that's kind of blending all the colors together for you, or the 2 colors together. You could do this with neutral colors, with anything, but I'm using a little bit of some more fun colors so you guys can definitely see the difference. See already, right? Like the shadowing here. This is good. Like, this would be good for like just an everyday look too, like just to stop here. These 2 colors, mascara, it's perfect. And then because the brush is like fluffy, it's sort of doing the work for you, so it's sort of blending for you. So nothing looks really harsh or anything like that. And then of course, you know, you add more and it gets a little bit more dramatic. So that's why I do really, you guys can see, like a little bit on my brush, because then I have more control of like how intense I want it to be. And I know that it looks sort of funny sometimes without your face done. And when I do makeup, people always say to me, like, are you gonna do my face? You know, because it looks sort of bizarre without anything else on the face. But the reason we're doing this is because you can get a lot of fallout of eyeshadow underneath the eye. And we wanna make sure we wipe that up before we're doing our foundation and stuff like that. But this way it allows you to kind of have creativity with your eyes. You wanna get the eyes right first, and then we'll go in and do the face. So I'm still just using that fluffy brush. So I'm going to use the same brush again, and I wanna show you like just how much you can do with this particular shape. I'm gonna go ahead and use a darker color, and I'm just gonna add it on the corner of the eye. Same brush, almost just like putting a tiny little bit of baby amount on it. I don't know if you guys can see. Just to give us a little shading on the outer corner. And this is where you guys would do like a smoky eye. So you can go as intense with it as you want, or, you know, even leave it at this point. And hopefully you guys can see here, like, it's just a little bit, but it really just kind of brings it up a notch in terms of intensity. And this is like where you're starting to create more of like a smoky effect on the eye. And I think with the smoky eye, people are always thinking like black, gray. It doesn't have to be like that. You know, it doesn't have to be those particular colors. It can be any color. It's just adding a little bit more depth on the corner of the eye or the lash line. So next I'm going to show you this flat brush here. It's an angle brush. This brush can be used for a couple different things. In this case, I'm going to show you how to do an eyeliner with it, but it could be used for eyebrow. Again, I love brushes that are like, they can do anything, or you make them whatever you want. So I always encourage people to get, you know, as creative as possible. That same dark color that we just used on the outer corner of the eye, I'm going to use this brush. And I am just going to create an eyeliner with an eyeshadow. So I'm going to put my eye out here gently. You never want to like do too much tugging on the skin. So I'm always like trying to be really gentle, but I like to get really close to the lash line. And in order to do that, I have to give myself some help. Perfect. I love that color too. So as you can see, just kind of defining the lash line. And you could do this with like a gel liner, anything really, any color. I'm just kind of sticking just with a few colors just to show you guys. Gentle tug. Perfect. Awesome. Next and last, I love this little guy. So this is a pencil brush. This is also one of my favorites. This is great for smudging underneath the eye with eyeliner, or packing some darker color on the end. I'm gonna show you both of those things. So I'm gonna use this darker color over here. And tapping the excess off, and I'm just gonna go underneath the eye just for a quick shadowing. And truthfully, I would probably do this after concealer, but I want to show you guys how that looks. And then I'm also going to show you how to do it on top, which this is one of my favorite tricks for like a smoky eye, or just giving like a really more defined crease or defined outer corner or anything like that, is to use a brush like this to really place the color where you want it. So I'm using that darker color again, and I'm literally gonna like pack it. So it's like kind of a hot mess, you can see. And then we're gonna use that fluffy brush, that universal brush, to buff that in. So with the help of the pencil brush, we just have like a little bit more control of where that color is going and how intense we want it. So So again, here, outer corner, and buffing it out. Awesome. And the last thing from here, in terms of eyeshadow that I would do, is I'd go back to that flat brush, that very first brush that we used. I'm just gonna kind of wipe away some excess here. And you could use like a lighter color or even a little shimmer just under the brow bone. You know, depending on the look, of course, like how intense you want it. But the shape of it is really good to get under the brow, and you usually just want it sort of dusted on. You don't have to go as intense as you would with the lid, but just to really finish off the look here. So I'm going to clean up under the eye. This is when you would do the face, add mascara, add eyeliner, and voila. So just to go back to the brushes again, I'll leave you links below because I think that there are a lot of great options out there, and there's a lot of expensive options too, but there's a lot of brands like Morphe or Crown Brush. There's a lot of options out there. Ulta, I have like this old brush from that's Rite Aid brand that I love. So you don't have to spend a lot of money on brushes. So I really encourage you guys to try and play, go the inexpensive route so that you can find brushes that work for you. So these are the 4 brushes we're working with today, and there's a lot of different varieties of each. And I'll link to these below, and I encourage you guys to find what you want to find. Make sure to like, subscribe, and comment, and check out my face brush video to complete this look.